Hi, I'm Eva and welcome to my channel. This video is going to be very interesting because I recently read an article about orthorexia, and in this article they named some points and those points define what orthorexia is meant to be. And for me, I didn't agree with every single point. So the main idea is basically that orthorexia is when people eat super healthy, and the article just mentions some points that if you have or if you're doing those things, then you might have an eating disorder. So in this video, I would really love to tell you those points and share with you my opinion about those points. So I start with the first one. So the first one was basically that if you read the ingredients and if you read always the ingredient list and the food labels of food, that's a bad sign. And for me, that's actually not a bad sign, because I think it's very interesting to realize what is in your food. And I think that most people have no idea what they're actually eating. Like when you're eating a sausage, there's so many additives and there are amounts of salt in those foods. And the same when you eat junk food or, chips and stuff like this, so super unhealthy food. There are so many additives that come, that are produced in China, and I think it's so weird that you have no idea how your food is produced and how your food, where does it come from. So I think that is actually really important, and just the connection between how we grow our food and that we eat the food. There's so little connection, so little people know how their food is produced or what is actually how is milk made and stuff like this. So I think it's very important to know those things. And also I'm vegan, as you probably know, so I really want to make sure that I stay vegan. So that's why I read the ingredient list, and I think it's a good thing. The next thing is an increased concern about health of ingredients, and that's basically similar answer. I think it's important to realize what you're eating, and basically the same answer. The next thing is cutting out increasing food groups. For example, cutting out all carbs, all animal products. And as you know me, I'm doing a fruit-based vegan diet, so I'm cutting out a lot of food groups actually. I'm not eating any animal products. I'm seldom eating gluten or bread and stuff, and for me it's pure logic to not eat those foods. And for example, when we take dairy, I think it's just simple sense to not, that we as humans don't need dairy, that dairy is dangerous and bad for our health. So for me it's just common sense that when a cow gives milk, it's for his or for her baby in this case, and it's not for us. So for example, when women when they have a baby, they have milk and they give the milk to their baby. That's natural, and it's the same for cows. So I would never go to a cat when the cat is pregnant with children and just get the milk from the cat, and it's basically the same with cow's milk. And also I think that there is the misconception that humans would be omnivores, which is not true, because humans are frugivores. Our digestion is designed for food because we have a super long digestive tract. So when we digest animal products, meat, dairy, it's not optimal and not what we are designed for. So I think our society teaches us that we are omnivores, that it's okay to eat meat, dairy, all those things. But from our anatomy, how our body is built and how we are evolutionary made, we are not designed for consuming grains in huge quantities. We are not designed to consume dairy or meat, and that's why I cut out so many food groups, because for me it's just common sense. And I've made a lot of research, and actually since I made the transition, I'm doing so much better. So that's why I'm cutting out so many food groups. The next thing is an inability to eat anything that is not considered as healthy and pure. And for me, that makes it's a similar answer than before, but also for me it's very interesting, because before I started eating healthy, I was eating very poorly. So I ate lots of animal products, lots of meat, and I felt so bad on my body. I had bad skin, I was a little bit overweight, I felt insecure, and that's when my eating disorder started. So then I started to starve myself and binge, and I felt so bad. And when, like, the healthier I eat, the more I can eat. So the more fruit and vegetables I started eating, the more I could eat, the better I felt, and the less I had to care about carbs or calories or anything like this. So for me, eating healthy has liberated me from eating disorders. So eating healthy is for me a way to feel great, to not care about the food that I'm eating, to not feel any regret or shame or anything, because I know that it's nourishing for my body. So that's why I love eating healthy and why I love eating so many fruit and vegetables. The next thing is that unusual interest for health of your parents or relatives or friends, or even what other people are eating. And I think I'm caring a lot, because once you understand the connection between what people are eating and what is happening to our world, the animals, and our health, you cannot ignore it, because there's just so many correlations. So for example, when people eat meats, they have to understand that they're indirectly destroying the rainforest, like the Amazon rainforest, because huge areas are deforested, I don't know. So the trees are cut off for fields for animals, so that the animals can live there, and and then the animals are basically killed and the meat is exported to many different areas. That's one thing. Or so the meat is exported to industrialized countries. Or the other thing is that on those areas there's plants are planted. For example, soy is planted, huge areas, and the rainforest is cut off. And the soy is exported to industrialized countries such as Germany. I'm from Germany, but also the United States, etc., for animal food, so for animal agriculture. So that's one thing. And also, I don't know, for me, it makes no sense to kill animals, because they have their own right to live. And once you really understand it, it makes it hard for you to not care. So I think it's a good thing to care, and I think it would make the world a much better place if people would care what they eat, and they would start to think about the consequences about their habits. The next thing is that showing high level of distress when safe or unhealthy or healthy food is not around. And for me, that's sometimes the case, because I know from experience that if I don't eat healthy, I don't feel good. So I was once on a trip with some friends on a regular, just 2 days, just spending some time together, and we were just close to the lake. But my friends are not really health conscious, so they eat tons of junk food and lots of animal products. So I was there, and I was vegan, of course, but I was eating a lot of bread and super unhealthy vegan stuff. And I felt so bad, like, because my body was so used to eating nutritious fruit and vegetables, and now I was eating all those junk, and my body just felt so bad. So that's why I really want to make sure that I'm always having healthy options around, so lots of fruit and vegetables around, because that's just how I feel my best. And yeah. So the next thing is spending hours per day thinking about upcoming events and what you will eat. And for me, that's interesting, because when I was not eating healthy and I was having my eating disorders, I would spend hours thinking about going to dinner with family or friends, and it was one thing that I've just hated the most about. It was so bad. And now sometimes I spend a little bit of time, because usually when you're vegan and you're the only vegan in the group, it's just natural that people will ask questions, and sometimes I don't feel comfortable about it. But I think it's not as bad as it used to be. So I would say that. The next thing is that obsessive following of social media personalities that are very active in the health industry or something like this. And I'm following a lot of people because I'm friends with a lot of people who are super health conscious, because I've been to fruit festivals, so I follow a lot of people who post a lot of pictures about fruit and vegetables and healthy meals and stuff. So, but to be honest, I think it's very inspiring, because it inspires me to eat healthy, to be fit, even though my environment or my family is not eating this way. So for me, it's encouraging, and I think it's much better to follow such people as instead of following models that are anorexic, because it's just for me a better thing to follow. The next thing is body image concerns may or may not be present, and that's the last point of this article. And first, this point says nothing. So this point basically affects everyone because everybody has or has not body issues. But what I want to say is that I've struggled with body issues because back then, like so many years ago, 6 years ago, I really was like not feeling comfortable in my body, which changed completely because now I'm eating so much food and I feel so good in my body, and because I feel good in my body, other people are attracted to me, so it makes my life so much better. Really, it makes my life better to just feel comfortable in my body, and I feel really, really good. And I know that when I stop eating healthy and start eating junk food, my pimples go back, my skin will go bad, I will, get maybe overweight and stuff. So that's why I really want to stay to this fit lifestyle that I'm having because I feel so good in it. And maybe I understand when people are afraid of people eating too healthy, and I think that's an eating disorder because I know some people who have an eating disorder and who are raw vegan or fruitarian or vegan. But I think just because they have eating disorders and they are not eating enough calories and they're starving themselves doesn't mean that this lifestyle of eating healthy is not a good lifestyle. So I think you should not, just because two people are doing it wrong, you should not say the whole lifestyle is crap, because it's not, because it helped so many people. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I think people use this orthorexia as an excuse for not eating healthier because they say, well, I love my junk food, I love to eat unhealthy, and all those healthy eaters, it's an eating disorder, and it's just not normal, so I will just continue with my habits, and they're disregarding the facts that their habits may affect different areas in a negative way, such as the environment, animals, and their health. So I would say that orthorexia should not be used as an excuse for not changing your own habits and improving your life. And yeah, I think that also, and now that's the very last thing for this video, I really believe that this lifestyle that we are having right now, that the majority of the people are living, is not the best lifestyle. So the standard American diet is not the best one. Also, I'm from Germany, so people in Germany usually eat super unhealthy as well, so lots of breads, animal products, and we're one of the sickest people out there. So people have like osteoporosis, people have cancer, heart attack, stroke, and so many of those diseases could be prevented, or could, like, if you would change your diet, if you would change your habits, if you would live a healthier lifestyle, like do sports and go vegan, plant-based, you would, possibly prevent so many diseases, and you would just live a so much happier, healthy lifestyle. And so I think that for me, going raw vegan, going vegan, or just eating healthier, eating more fruit and vegetable was the best decision that I've just could possibly do. And I'm so excited about it because once you're used to it, it tastes amazing and it's just so liberating. So that's why I don't think that I have an eating disorder anymore. And yeah, but if you have another opinion, you can share it in the comment section. I'm really interested in other people's opinions. And if you want to learn more about me, if you want to learn more about what I'm doing, I'm sharing a lot of stuff here on my YouTube channel, but I'm also sharing a lot of stuff on my Instagram account, which is Fruity Eva. And yeah, it's very interesting. I share great recipes, free recipes. I also have a podcast that you can check out where I share a lot of information, and everything is free. So if you want to learn more also about overcoming eating disorders, you should definitely check me out on Instagram, and I will see you there. So have a good day or a night, whatever, and goodbye.